Hi, it's day 19 and thanks so much for joining me today for some more daily Pilates. Today's session has been requested by Natalie in Leeds. So hi Natalie, hope you're well. And she has asked for some exercises to help with her walking and glute and leg strength. So we're going to be starting in standing, and I'd like you to come to stand on the floor so that your feet ever so slightly closer than hip distance apart. We're just going to take a couple of breaths in here to settle into our movement. So think about the weight going down evenly through both of your feet. Have that little piece of thread pulling it through the crown of your head so you're standing really tall. Your arms are heavy down by your sides and your shoulders are melting down your spine. Tummy muscles coming in to support you here. We're going to go straight into something called a Pilates squat. So keeping your spine and pelvis in this neutral position that we've just found, we're going to send our knees forward and our bottom backwards. So as we inhale, send your knees forward in line with your second toe and start bending your hips so your bottom goes backwards, arms hanging heavy, weight even through both your feet, still feeling how your legs and glutes are working. And then as you exhale, press through to come up to standing. Let's go again. We're going to inhale, sinking down. You can imagine that you're either downhill skiing or you're about to sit on a public toilet. So you're kind of getting that squat position. And rather than tucking your bottom underneath you, you're sending your bottom away from you. So your spine is really nice and long back of neck. Tummy muscles coming in here to support you. It's really important that you get that engagement here, pressing through. Great. We're going to go 4 more times, sinking down, checking that your knees aren't falling in or coming apart from each other. Pressing through, lovely. So as you come down, check that your feet are really relaxed on the floor. And as you come up to standing, use your glutes and press through your heels. Got 2 more to go like this. So sinking down as we inhale. Exhale to come up, standing super tall. And our final one here, sinking down, pressing through. Great. So now we're going to get a little bit more work on our balance and challenge our leg and ankle strength, because we're going to add in a heel raise. This is where it's going to get a little bit more complicated. So we do exactly the same movement as you've just done. So inhale to squat down. Still inhaling, I'd like you to come up onto your toes. So you're floating your heels off the floor. Really feeling that your ankles and legs are working. And we're going to keep our heels off as we press ourselves up through to our upright position and lower down. So we're inhaling, sinking down, still inhaling, float your heels off. Keep your legs super strong as you exhale. Press through your toes this time and come back down. Wonderful. Let's even do 4 more like this. Coming up. So really balancing. You can have a little wall next to you if you just need a little bit extra support, so you can place your finger on a wall or on the back of your chair. That's just going to help you with your balance. This is superb for your deep core strength and stability, strength for your legs and glutes. And come down. Check what's going on with your arms and your shoulders and make sure that they're not coming around your ears. Tummy muscles coming in, pressing all the way through and down. And we have our final one here. Sinking down, pressing through, all the way up and coming down with control. Well done. Give your feet a little bit of walk out if you need it. We're going to go into something called a hip opening now. So this is going to get some really lovely movement through our hips, but also get our balance working as well. So if you know when you're running and walking, especially if you're in rough terrain, it's going to be really useful to you to have really good balance, because you can't always guarantee that you're going to be standing with stability underneath you. So we're going to place our hands just above our hips now. Take your feet back to hip distance apart. Piece of thread still coming through the crown of your head and your shoulders melting down your spine. I'm going to breathe out and float one leg into a single knee lift. Then I'm going to try and open the gate, okay? Bring your leg back in, lower down with control. So breathing out to float that knee up, opening out to the side. Inhale, close, and down. So it's just a really great way of getting that movement through your hip and taking the weight in one leg, which is going to work on your balance. Keep your shoulders melting down once again. Float that knee in. Open. And back down. Super. So we're basically doing our single leg standing with an additional hip opening. Now I'm going to try my best not to banana out to the side. So if I banana out, you can see I'm kind of taking my weight over to the side. So I'm trying to keep that piece of thread coming up so I'm really tall and there's minimal movement through the opposite side of my body. Great. 2 more to each side. Don't be tempted to rush. Maybe hold it here a second if you can. If you're feeling those glutes on the side of your leg working, bring that leg back in and down. Keep toe muscles coming in, opening out, back through and down. Last one to each side here, all the way up, open and down. And our last one, coming up. Try and keep your gaze going forward. If you look anywhere else, it's working. It's super hard to balance. Bring that leg down. Wonderful. Okay, so we're going to come down onto the floor and practice our oysters now. So again, really great for strengthening your glutes and your legs. So I'd like you to come down onto your side. I'm just going to angle this slightly so you can see a little bit better what I'm doing. Let's just move the whole thing. Why not? Okay, so lengthening yourself down on the floor and supporting your head with a little cushion. So your feet are in line with your bottom. Your knees are bent out towards the front. Long arm underneath you. Little cushion supporting your head. And just bring your lower waist up from the floor, knees together. So we're going to take our top hand and place it on that top hip. Keep your shoulder away from your ear. And go into 6 normal oysters. I like to breathe in. As you breathe out, float that top leg up. Breathe out, rocking your pelvis backwards and lowering down. So oyster is a move that we do really often in Pilates because it is so good for getting movement in at the hip as well as working the outer leg and the glutes. So it might feel like you're not doing very much to start with, but after you've done a few, you're really going to start feeling this. So breathing out, keep your heels together. Inhale, lower down. 2. And our final one. Breathing out and in. Super. All right, let's take it to a floating oyster now. So this is where you're really going to feel it. So keeping that lower leg on the floor, I like to float your heels up just a little. And then we're going to go into our oyster from here. So our heels are already up. Lower down. Great. Breathing out to float. Into lower. Out to float. Into lower. Amazing job. Well done. Out. And in, ooh, out and in. 2 more here. Hopefully you're feeling it just as much as I am. And try and bring that knee up as far as you can without moving your pelvis. Out and in and sink those heels down. Well done. Okay, so we're going to adjust our legs now. So bring that lower leg up so it's at 90 degrees to your body and lengthen that top leg out in line with your spine. What we're going to go into some lovely leg circles. So using the hip as the center of your circle, start drawing a massive big circle with your toe. Going down, up, back, and down. So go behind the line of your body as much as you do in front. You're going to really fire up the glutes and get these core muscles working as well because there's no movement through our body at all. Okay, going the other way now. 6. Keep them up with the circles controlled so you can make them as small as you wish. Just make sure you've got that length through your leg and the control in that circle. 3 and 2 and 1 and bring that leg in. Great. Okay, so we're going to switch ourselves over and do exactly the same on the other side, starting with those normal oysters. So lengthening that lower arm out in line with your spine, keeping your heels together. Keep your hand on top of your hip. We're going to go into those normal oysters now. So breathing in. As you breathe out, floating that top leg up. Inhale to lower down. Top shoulder away from your ear. Exhale. And in. Good. Breathing out. And in. Super. 2 more times. Out. And in. And our final one. Out. And in. Great. Let's float our heels up in the air now. Make sure that there's still no movement through that hip and pelvis. We're going to breathe out and come back down with control. So rather than collapsing that leg back down, try and move it with control. 4 and 3, super. 2, and our final one, all the way up and lowering down. Well done. Okay, so let's adjust ourselves now. So bring that lower leg up so that it's at 90 degrees. Lengthen that top leg away from you. Let's go into our circles. So remember, the hip is the center of your circle. You're having no movement through your body whatsoever, and you're keeping really lovely length through that leg as you go into those circles. Final one, and let's go the other way. Circling around, keeping that lower leg heavy on the floor. 4, 3, 2, and 1. And bring that knee up and relax it here. Well done. Okay, let's gently push ourselves up through to a seated position and sit however suits you best. And I'm going to go into those final couple of breaths. So taking your arms out to the sides, breathing in. As you breathe out, reach your fingers, reaching all the way up to the ceiling. Lovely length through your spine. Press the air away. And one more here. Breathing out all the way up, reaching to our fingers. Press the air away. And give yourself a nice flat well done. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you really enjoyed it and found it useful. Remember, you can visit this video as many times as you like. So if you fancy doing it again, it's always going to be here. Have a great rest of the day, and I'm going to be back tomorrow for some Pilates with weights. So if you have a couple of hand weights like these ones, that's going to be great. If you don't have these, grab a couple of tins of beans or a couple of bottles of water. You can even have a bottle of wine in each hand if you prefer, and we're going to do some Pilates with those. Okay, have a great day, and I'll see you then. Bye-bye.